Hi everybody, it's Gina. Welcome back to another video. I've talked about my lemongrass plants in the past and I will go ahead and link that particular video, but what I wanted to talk to you about today was the fact that all of my lemongrass plants have gone to seed, and I'm going to show you how I collect some of those seeds. So stick with me and I will show you what this is all about. What you're looking at here is the early stage. The pods are still a little green. They're not quite ready for harvest as yet. But you can see the extent of which the plants went to seed. This is one of the largest specimens that I have, and it's got, wow, probably thousands of seeds in the seed pods that you're looking at right now. What you're looking at here is the very first lemongrass plant that I planted, and I divided this several times, so the other lemongrass plants that you see in the video are actually divisions of this particular plant. Recently I was talking to a neighbor who just happened to discover some lemongrass plants in her yard, and it turns out that they were seeds that were blown into her yard and started to grow. So she was quite pleased with that. She ended up digging them up and replanting them in another location that was more suitable for her. Now this is about a week later, or maybe a little bit more, and the seeds are a little drier, and I'm basically stripping them from off of the stalk. And these are the pods. The seeds are actually quite tiny, and I'm going to show you what those look like in a moment. You can see just how tiny these seeds are. I would never ever be able to collect all of them, and what happens is they blow throughout the yard, they seed themselves, and I just end up digging up the plants that manage to grow, and I repot them, or I put them in another location throughout the yard, or I give away a lot of them. There are several people who have stopped by and asked if they were lemongrass, and I just simply give them a pot of one of them that I had transplanted. I absolutely love lemongrass. I use it for cooking. I use it to make tea, but I also use it to mulch around other plants. So I have several specimens that I cut down and use for mulch, and I have a few that I use specifically for tea and for cooking. What you're looking at here are some very dry lemongrass seed pods. We had a cold snap about a week ago, so these got extremely dry and some of the plants got very burnt, but I still managed to harvest quite a bit of the seeds, and you can see that these are very ready to be harvested. If I don't get them now, then they will just literally get scattered to the wind. You can see just how burnt some of them got. Take a look at this one. There are hints of red and brown and oranges. Some of them just got really, really burnt. Now these are the ones that are toward the front of my yard, and after harvesting the seeds, what I did was simply chop them all down and use the rest of the lemongrass for mulch. I tend to use this area for mulching only, simply because there are a lot of people that walk their pets, walk their dogs, and a lot of them tend to urinate on these lemongrass plants. What you're looking at here are some of the lemongrass seeds that the wind has blown, and they just kind of landed on top of the trash can. And they will get blown off of here and they'll land on the ground. And at some point in the near future they will seed, and I will simply just dig them up and put them into a pot, or I'll give them away, or I will find another location to plant them. And you can see where they're being blown from. There are two lemongrass plants towards in this area, and as the wind picks up they simply get blown. And unless you really know what you're looking for when they're starting to grow, chances are you will just mow right over them. This again is the front of the yard where I showed you earlier. I went ahead and just chopped all of these lemongrass plants down, and I used some of it for mulching, and I saved some of the seeds. And what I did was I ended up dividing one particular plant and planted a few more in between what I had there, so I would have an even thicker hedge come the latter part of the spring and summer.